Welcome to Channel Today in History. In today's video we will talk about the day September 20th, 1519. Great Schism of the West. The Great Schism of the West, Papal Schism, or simply Great Schism, was a religious crisis that occurred in the Catholic Church between the years 1378 and 1417. Between 1309 and 1377, the residence of the papacy was moved from Rome to Avignon, France, as Pope Clement V was taken, without the possibility of debate, by the French king to reside in Avignon. In 1378, Pope Gregory XI returned to Rome, where he died. The Italian population wanted the papacy to be re-established in Rome. Urbano VI, of Italian origin, was then elected. However, he proved to be a very authoritarian pope, so that a considerable number of the College of Cardinals would annul his vote, and a new conclave was held, with Clement VII being elected, who took up residence in Avignon. Thus began the schism, in which the Pope resided in Rome, and the antipope resided in Avignon, both claiming for themselves power over the Catholic Church. Later, another antipope would appear in Pisa. The schism ended at the Council of Constance in 1417, when the papacy was definitively established in Rome. Story: from 1309 to 1377, the Pope did not reside in Rome, but in Avignon, a period commonly called the Babylonian captivity, alluding to Israel's biblical exile in Babylon. Pope Gregory XI left Avignon and re-established the Holy See in Rome, where he died on March 27, 1378. The election of his successor would define the future pope's residence in Avignon or Rome. The name of Bartolommeo Prignano, Archbishop of Bari, regarded with strict morals and an enemy of corruption, was proposed. The 16 Italian cardinals present in Rome met in conclave on April 7. The next day they chose Prignano. During the election there was great disturbance in the city, as the people of Rome and the surrounding area strove to influence the decision of the cardinals, who took steps to avoid possible doubts. On the 13th they held a new election, and again chose Archbishop Prignano to become pope. During the following days all the members of the College of Cardinals approved the new pope, who took the name Urban VI, and took office. A day later, the Italian cardinals officially notified Urban's election to the 6 French cardinals in Avignon, who recognized him as pope, and then wrote to the emperor and the other sovereigns. Both Cardinal Roberto of Geneva, the future antipope Clement VII of Avignon, and Pedro de Luna of Aragon, the future antipope Benedict XIII, also approved his election. Pope Urban did not respond to the needs of his election, criticized the members of the College of Cardinals, and refused to restore the pontifical seat in Avignon. The Italian cardinals then, in May 1378, withdrew to Anagni, and in July to Fonti, under the protection of Queen Joan of Naples and Bernardin de La Salle, began a campaign against their choice, preparing for a second election. On September 20th, 13 members of the College of Cardinals held a new conclave at Fondi, and chose Robert of Geneva as pope, who took the name Clement VII. A few months later, this antipope, supported by the Kingdom of Naples, took up residence in Avignon. The schism began. Clement VII maintained relations with the main royal families in Europe. Scholars and saints of the time usually supported the pope adopted by their country. Most Italian and German states, England and Flanders supported the Pope of Rome. On the other hand, France, Spain, Scotland and all the allied nations of France supported the antipope of Avignon. The conflict quickly went from being a church affair to a diplomatic incident spread across the European continent. The popes excommunicated each other, appointing other cardinals to compensate for desertions, sending messengers to Christendom to defend their cause, and establishing their own administration. Later Boniface IX succeeded Urban VI in Rome, and Benedict XIII succeeded Clement in Avignon. Several clerics met at regional councils in France and elsewhere, with no definite result. The King of France and his allies in 1398 failed to support Benedict, and Geoffrey Boucicaut besieged Avignon, depriving the antipope of communication with all those who remained faithful to him. Benedict only regained his freedom in 1403. Innocent VII had already succeeded Boniface of Rome, and after a 2-year pontificate, he was succeeded by Gregory XII. At the time of the schism, the Fernandina Wars and the 1383–1385 crisis occurred in the Iberian Peninsula, both opposing the kingdoms of Castile and Portugal for dynastic reasons. Thus, in the time of Fernando I of Portugal, his disastrous foreign policy led him to support the Pope of Avignon, who also had the support of Castile. After the succession crisis, as Castile continued to defend the Pope of Avignon, it is not surprising that John I of Portugal, to show his independence went with the Roman Pope, Habemus Papam at the Council of Constance. In 1409, a council that met in Pisa added another antipope, and declared the other two deposed. After many conferences, discussions, interventions by the civil power, and various catastrophes, the Council of Constance, 1414, deposed Antipope John XXIII, received the abdication of Pope Gregory XII, and finally managed to depose Antipope Benedict XIII. On November 11 in 1417, the council elected Odo Colonna, who took the name Martinho 5 degrees, with which the Great Schism of the West ended and unity was re-established. The prestige of the papacy was deeply affected by this crisis, which led to the creation of the conciliar doctrine, which holds that the supreme authority of the Church lies with an ecumenical council, and not with the Pope, being effectively extinguished in the 15th century. Did you like the video? In the description you will find the blog link with the full article. Give an incentive by subscribing to the channel, liking, commenting, and sharing with your friends. Hugs. Until the next.